Hey, welcome to our class of Tuesday Night Beer School with me, Chad, of Chad's Beer Reviews. And
Christina.
tonight's beer is another German lager, and it's actually a very rare style in the United States. I hardly ever see these anymore. Talking about German Helles Exportbier. Overall impression, a golden German lager balancing a smooth malty profile with a bitter hoppy character in a slightly above average body and strength beer. Also known as a Dortmunder, blah blah blah, called Export within Germany. Export is also a beer strength descriptor under German brewing conditions or traditions. Could be applied to other styles. Split the difference between a German Pils and a Munich Helles in several aspects: color, hop, malt, balance, finish, and bitterness. All right, so it was developed in Dortmund. Characteristic ingredients: minerally water with high levels of sulfates, carbonates, and chlorides. Traditional German or Czech hops, Pilsner malt, German lager yeast, decoction mash, traditional. Interesting. So yeah, like that. This characteristic ingredients right here, this is like kind of what separates Dortmunder from all the other styles. It's like it's gonna be very minerally.
Okay.
It's probably gonna taste like it was made with Florida tap water.
Gotcha, yeah. They're big on mineral water in Europe, so.
Yeah. Style comparison: less finishing hops and more body than a German Pils, more bitter and drier than a Munich Helles, stronger, drier but less hoppy than a Czech. Well, it's really a Czech Pilsner, like Pilsner or Kel. All right, so our vitals: 20 to 30 IBU, so kind of bitter for a lager. ABV 5 to 6, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any of these on the commercial examples, but we do have an authentic German Dortmunder. This one's Sonderklasse Leipzip Export Lager. What was ABV on that one?
5.2.
All right, and then we have the American contender. This is another one from Wayfinder Export 66. This one is a little bit stronger. It's 5.6, and they're out of Portland, Oregon. I've had a few beers from and actually this is the second week in a row because last week I had their the Crow show, the London Porter.
Oh, that was them. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this brewery only made lagers, but I guess whatever. Anyway, we're gonna get these into the glass, and we'll be right back with aroma. All right, we are back. We got our beers poured. I got the Wayfinder in the fancy glass. Christina has the German one in the St. Bernardus glass.
Yep.
So which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with the German.
Okay, home team. So let's give it a whiff. I mean, it definitely smells like beer.
Yep.
Does it smell minerally to you? Because they made a point of saying that it's pretty minerally.
No, I wouldn't say this smells minerally.
I mean, to me, it smells like that, like the grain, just like that raw, kind of, I would not call this toasty or anything. It's just like, just a lovely grainy aroma, maybe a little crackery or graham cracker.
Yeah, slight citrus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I get a touch of honey on this one.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, I would not call it like, I mean, it's like sweet in that like it's grainy,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't go as far as say like it's so rich that it's like bready. You know what I mean?
No, it's very pleasant.
I get like, I think I get like a tiny little bit of like a spicy hop on here. Like this is, I'm not, we should have done Helles, because like that's like the most famous German just straight base lager style.
Yeah.
Because this is basically the Helles but stronger, so that's why it's called Helles Exportbier. But it's just not going to be as like hoppy and like bold as a Pilsner, so it's just in between those two.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty subtle.
All right, let's give the Wayfinder a whiff.
Whoa.
That has a I could smell this when I was pouring it.
It's got a little bit of a skunkiness to it.
Yeah, I think it's probably whatever hops they're using. Because they probably went a little bit harder with the hops because, I mean, it's American beer.
Mm-hmm.
American breweries just tend, even if it's not appropriate for the style.
Yeah, so a little bit skunkier. Definitely a lot stronger, I think, hop smelling.
Yeah, it has like almost like a green pear or some kind of green fruit.
Yeah,
You get that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it has like a fruity aroma. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like a wine, a fruity wine.
Yeah, like a what's the New Zealand one? Not Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, it has this kind of green apple, green pear kind of notes. Really, I don't know. It seems kind of odd, but
Yeah.
like as soon as when I was pouring this, I could actually smell it from an arm's length away. So
Yeah, I could see that.
let's check the specs on aroma. Medium low to medium floral, spicier herbal hop aroma. That's interesting because that they start with that. And all right, I mean, they're saying medium low. I mean, I think I would put both of these probably as far as the hop character at low. Moderate grainy sweet malt aroma, possibly with light toasty, bready, or doughy notes. Okay, I would agree with that. I would probably say the lipstick, whatever it's called, is a little doughy maybe. I mean, we said crackery. Clean fermentation profile, hops and malt both noticeable and generally balanced. Let's say there's a lack of hops on the Wayfinder. Unless
Yeah.
whatever skunky note you're getting, and that could be the hops there.
Okay.
They don't mention the fruity character though. I mean, because I'm only getting that on the Wayfinder.
Yeah, they say floral, which I'm not really getting on either.
Yeah. So as far as score, the German one obviously is more to spec, much more, but it's not checking all the boxes, I think.
Right.
I'm going to go fairly high on this one. I'm going to say 10. I could maybe drop that to a 9.
I'll do a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the Wayfinder, I'm going to go a little, for me, which is a little low on this one. I'm thinking 8.
A 7.
7?
Yeah.
You always got to be...
Maybe I should go first.
I know. All right, well, on the next one. All right, so appearance. These are very similar.
Very similar.
I would say there's a slight haze to the German, but the Wayfinder was crystal clear, and it's kind of glowing.
It's crystal clear, and again, like a wine.
Yeah.
There's a little tiny bit of carbonation going on in there.
Yeah. It did pour to a nice, thumb width of foam. I think it's just because the glass is wider. The German one, it's holding the head a little bit more because it's a little more condensed.
Yeah. Is there some sediment floating in the German one, or is that just...
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's not like yeast in the can or anything. It's just a little...
Just kind of hovering
It's
there.
it's little particulates or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's check the specs on appearance. Medium yellow to deep gold. Okay, clear. Persistent white head. All right, well... It doesn't say brilliant clarity. Some beers they'll actually say brilliant clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would actually say the Wayfinder is clear. It's funny because... but I mean... Would you describe that as a clear beer? I mean...
It's hard to say, right,
It's certainly not a hazy IPA. It's just...
It's not, but... I guess this wouldn't
But
be
it also
clear.
has a better head retention.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I feel like...
if you're not looking at it super close, I guess it could be clear.
I feel like giving this a 2 would be inappropriate.
Right.
So I will say 3 for both.
I'll do a 3 for both.
Okay.
Yeah, they both have the same color. Good head.
All right. Now we get to drinking. Which one do you want to start with?
The German.
German?
Yeah.
All right. Prost, as they say there.
Prost.
The first thing I notice is that it's quite sweet.
Apple juice, almost. My first impression of it.
Yeah. I'm getting that honey kind of flavor that I mentioned on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a maybe like a English muffin or something with honey on it, or a biscuit with honey. But not nearly that sweet. Just kind of like the...
No, but it's sweeter than I thought it would be, actually.
It could be an old can. Because when lagers age, they tend to get sweeter because the hops fade. Not that they're very highly hopped to begin with.
Oh.
I didn't see a canning date on this.
Is that from Total Wine?
Yeah. So, they're usually, the exports like this, or I should say imports, aren't usually the freshest beers in the world.
Right.
But as far as the actual flavor description, yeah, I would call this very crackery or biscuity. And by biscuity, I mean like KFC biscuits, not, like how the British call cookies
The cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There's kind of a crackery quality to it.
It still it's much more hoppy tasting than it smelled. It's a pretty firm bitterness, enough to notice. I would say it's like a little peppery.
That's what it is. Yeah, there's a little bit of pepper at the back end.
Are you getting citrus at all?
Not at all. I was getting it on the nose, though, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just wondering, because sometimes I do get a little bit of lemon on some German pills.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not getting that here.
Not on the taste, just on the aroma.
And what about are you getting any mineral quality? I think to me it's kind of just like this kind of like background. It's just like a mesh everything together of just kind of a slight mineral water.
Yeah. Knowing that it's in there, you can sense that it's in there for
like
sure.
it's not like, it doesn't taste like metallic or anything. It's just kind of like, and I would say it's definitely not chlorine either.
No.
Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah, I mean, because Florida tap water has huge levels of chlorine in it.
When you turn it on, you smell it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we will move on to the Wayfinder, as you say in America. Cheers.
Cheers. So I'm not getting any sweetness at all on this one.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's actually pretty dry.
Yeah, I agree. The hops are a little lower on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have that honey quality of the Leipzig.
No, I'd say this is more bitter. This is higher on the bitterness for me.
You think this one's more bitter?
Yeah. Do you disagree?
Maybe it's more bitter, but it's lacking hop flavor. Because with this one, I can actually taste a little bit of a peppercorn kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This one, yeah, it does have a bitterness to it. And this one does have a more minerally quality to it.
Yeah.
Mostly in the aftertaste.
Yeah. Again, this kind of resembles a wine for me, just with the dryness.
Well, they did mention that it might have sulfates or sulfites.
Oh, so that would be like a wine. They have sulfites in wine. Okay.
But I think that's just from the water, not from, I don't think these are wood aged beers.
Yeah. So maybe that's the mineralness of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, this one finishes very dry.
Yeah.
Let's check the specs on flavor. Moderate balanced malt and hops with supporting bitterness. Okay. I would say they both are balanced because the Leipzig is just more of everything and the Wayfinder is less of everything.
Yeah.
Malt and hop flavor, similar aroma. I don't know why that's such a stating the obvious, Medium, noticeable bitterness, full on the palate with a medium dry finish.
All right.
Okay, well, I would say that applies more to the German beer. Noticeable bitterness, yes. Full on the palate with a medium dry finish. Clean fermentation character. I agree. I'm not getting butter or green apple or corn or any of these.
No.
Aftertaste of both malt and hops generally in balance. I would say that's true of the Leipzig. To me, the Wayfinder is kind of a... If the hops on this one are actually quite low.
For which part?
So it has a much more malty aftertaste. Aftertaste of both malts and hops. Mineral character typically perceived more as a roundness and fullness of flavor, and a dry, flinty sharpness in the finish rather than overt mineral flavors. Background sulfate optional. Okay. It's interesting that they even bother to mention the mineral character, but more of a roundness and fullness of flavor. Yeah, and a dry, flinty sharpness. Yeah, I would agree. Maybe a little flinty on the Wayfinder.
What does flinty mean?
I don't know. When you flint.
Yeah.
Almost like sulfur. like the way that you would like start like a fire, like flint rock.
Okay, so
So, yeah, it's almost a little sulfury.
the smell.
Yeah, and they don't. It's funny they don't really mention like sweetness on here.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you should penalize it or not, but there's no mention of fruit at all.
Yeah, and, well, it's funny because I smelled fruit, but I don't taste fruit on either of them.
I do on the Leipzig
Really? Like what fruit? Like
apple.
yeah, I think it does have like a little bit of a. I can say it's like probably like a fruity just yeast ester or something.
Yeah, I don't think they're adding fruit to it at all, but it's there.
Although it does that might violate because it says clean fermentation character, and if it's a yeast if that's a yeast derived thing, then that would be inappropriate or whatever.
Yeah. Well, this one's hard to judge.
I know. Malt and hop flavors, medium noticeable bitterness. All right. Well, I would say the bitterness is a little higher on the German.
I think it's the opposite, but I feel like we always
The
do
medium
that.
dry finish.
Yeah.
I would say the Leipzig is medium dry, and the Wayfinder is just straight up dry. Like it doesn't really. The Wayfinder doesn't really have much of an aftertaste, whereas like this one lingers.
Yeah.
Background sulfate optional. I think maybe like a tiny little bit in the Wayfinder. So, anyways, yeah, this is a little tricky to judge. All right, so I will let you go first for once.
All right.
So, the Leipzig.
The Leipzig, I will do an 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for the Wayfinder,
I will do a 16.
16.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was probably gonna give those same scores. I'm thinking, yeah, the Leipzig is like just more like well-rounded, and I think it just has more flavor.
Yeah, it's definitely more interesting.
I think like this particular can might be a little old because like it seems like a little sweet. In fact, I think it might be a little too sweet. So I'm gonna knock that down. I'm gonna go 17 on that one.
All right.
I'm gonna go 15 for flavor.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the mouthfeel. Let's start with the Wayfinder. Now, for a lager, that actually has quite a bit of body to it. I would call it like at least medium.
It's a medium.
Maybe even a little bit more. Carbonation is a little lower on this one. Like it's not super crisp and spastic, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty still.
Yeah. And the Leipzig, this one drinks more like a standard traditional German lager. I'd probably put that like...
It's a light medium.
Yeah, medium light, maybe medium. Like it's just noticeably less body than the Wayfinder.
Yeah.
And it's noticeably more carbonated.
It is extremely carbonated, yeah.
And what's nice is like this one has been holding the foam the entire time.
It has.
And the Wayfinder
It's
is
still got the little bubbles going.
You know, it kind of looks like olive oil or something in the glass here.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to say for Wayfinder, medium plus body and probably moderately low carbonation. Leipzig, medium light body, medium high, maybe even straight up. Well, I don't know if I go say high carbonation, but
Oh, yeah, I think
moderately
it's
high carbonation.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the specs on that. Medium to medium full body, medium carbonation, smooth and mellow on the palate, very slight warmth, maybe notice in stronger versions. Well, I mean, it's not. There's only 5.2, 5.7. You're not going to get alcohol unless like you're drinking at room temperature. They just say medium and medium full, and like we were saying, the Leipzig is like a little lighter. So I mean, okay, so as far as body, the Wayfinder is there, medium carbonation. I think they're both off because the Wayfinder seems low and the Leipzig seems a little high.
Yeah.
They are both smooth, though, I will say.
There's no happy medium here.
Yeah, very slight warmth. Yeah, I'm not getting warmth on either of these as far as alcohol or anything. So neither of them is perfect. All right, so I'll let you go first again. And what are you going to give the...
I'd say they're both middle, so I'll do 3 for both.
3 for both?
Yeah.
I think the Wayfinder is a little less there. So I'm gonna give 4 for the Leipzig, but I will also say 3 for the Wayfinder.
All right.
It's a little undercarbonated. Overall, I mean, to me the Leipzig, I mean, this is an actual German example, and it's like, why wouldn't it be the better beer? So yeah, this particular can, I have a feeling is a little old. So I'm gonna say, I think like 7. I'm gonna say 7. I could maybe bump that to an 8.
Yeah, I think it holds up pretty well if it's old. I'll do an 8 on that as well.
8. All right.
Yeah.
So we're tied at 41.
Whoa.
Wayfinder, it's more there than not for sure. It's not exactly to spec. I'm gonna say I can kind of go 6 or 7 on this one. I will say, I'm gonna say 6 on this one.
All right, for me it averages out to a 7.
7.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, wow, our scores are pretty much the same.
I think it's the closest we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I think to me that's the difference. Was like the Wayfinder is the flavor just isn't there. But and the aroma is a little off. Mm-hmm. I think it's just a terroir thing. It's like you can't really replicate the water exactly. 5,000. On the other side of the planet. Because these guys are in Portland, Oregon, and these guys are in Germany. They're pretty far apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. All right. So at the end of the class, I'll ask the student what they learned. Maybe I should start quizzing you. You have a test you have to pass.
Give me a quiz. Do a quiz.
What was the ABV acceptable range on this beer?
A 5 to a 6.
Okay. What was the gravity range?
I don't remember.
Yeah, we didn't really go over it, but I think it was 1080. No, it won't be that high. 1050 to 1058. Okay. And 1008 to 1015.
Oh, okay.
All right. I should ask you the color. SRM 4 to 6. Yeah. All right. We're rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.